hear the word change. Some of you may think of days turning into weeks or months turning into years. Some of you may think of how the seasons change throughout the year. Or maybe you think of the physical changes we experience as we grow up. Imagine a river flowing towards an ocean with a rock sitting in it. The river follows the natural call of gravity. It will get around the rock, whether that requires going over it, under it, or around it. The rock, however, is stuck in the same place. It resists this natural call and will eventually be worn down to the size of a pebble. I say this to you today because I believe there are two types of people in this world, rivers and rocks. Using the Rotary four-way test, I will evaluate my argument that one should strive to be a river in this world full of rocks. The first question of the ethics statement asks, is it the truth? It is true that the rocks of this world are afraid of change. Some are afraid because they're too attached to the past. They spend so much time and energy looking back and wishing that they could go back that they miss out on all the greatness that's ahead of them. An example of this can be found in Genesis 19 with the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. God is destroying the city, but he gives mercy to Lot's family. As they're fleeing, Lot's wife looks back and immediately turns to a pillar of salt. When she does this, she exemplifies rock qualities. You see, if we're not moving forward, we're simply backtracking. What you have to understand is change is equivalent to growth. Benjamin Franklin once said, when you are finished changing, you are finished. Being a river is fair to all concerned, which answers the second question of the Rotary four-way test. It is fair because anyone can do it. Anyone can recognize a rock, remove it, and live the river lifestyle. However, it is a choice. The word choice is so important. Everyone has the option to be a river, but it is up to each individual to choose the lifestyle. Another characteristic of a river is that it will not flow backwards. The only time a river flows backwards is in the case of a hurricane. I understand that not all change is positive. So these hurricanes represent that time in your life of negative change that I'm sure everyone in this room has experienced. Maybe you lost a loved one. Maybe you struggled with a mental illness or an addiction. Whatever it may be, it sent you backwards for a while. I myself have overcome each of these examples. So if you're in the midst of your hurricane today, I encourage you to see it through. There are so many sayings such as, this too shall pass, or all things must come to an end, that I feel like we brush off because we hear them so often, when in reality, we should be grasping them because they are so true. A great speaker, Kevin Scooter Ward, once said, everything will be okay in the end. So if it's not okay, it's not the end. Eventually, your hurricane season will come to an end and you'll continue flowing in the right direction, towards your ocean. Now this ocean is the best version of yourself and the best that life has to offer you. Being a river will build goodwill and better friendships, which answers the third question of the Rotary four-way test. No one seeks a negative, discouraging friend. One quality of a river is seeking the good in themselves, other people, and the world. This is the type of person that you want by your side as you're facing your hurricanes. And not only is it the type of person you want by your side, but it's the type of person you should strive to be for the people in your life that need you by their side. So maybe you're in between these two options. Maybe you don't really mind change as long as you're controlling what's changing. I say this because I'm very familiar with the concept, and it's no way to live. The beauty of the river is that it doesn't know the length of its journey, but it trusts that there is something great at the end of it. It doesn't stop or choose a different route. It simply follows the path that's already been laid out for it. Like a river, I believe we should faithfully follow the path that God has already laid out for each and every one of us. Being a river in this world full of rocks is beneficial to all concerned, which answers the fourth question of the Rotarian ethics statement. It goes back to the saying, you are what you're made of. Living the river lifestyle impacts society in a positive way. If we want our society to advance and grow, the people in it have to advance and grow first. I believe the Rotary Club exemplifies the qualities of a river. Each member wants to invest in students that they believe will better our society, and you want us to do the same. You want us to keep pushing forward and eventually give back, investing in other students. So I leave it up to you. Will you be a river and embrace the inevitability of change? Or will you be a rock and never meet your full potential? Your ocean. Just as I seek to be a river, I encourage others to do the same. I choose not to fear change. I choose to build goodwill and better friendships. I choose to stay patient and focused through my hurricanes. Even when it feels like a never-ending journey, I choose to surrender to the inevitability of change, because this will allow me to live a fulfilled life. I will be a river. Join me in my river journey. Thank you.